Hey there, YouTubers. This is Vader back, still working on the snowblower. I actually took it apart to a pretty good extent because I tested the electric starter motor, and it turns, but it makes a hell of a noise. And to find out what the noise was, I mean, it actually turned the thing, but that was under no pressure with the spark plug out, no compression in there. It wasn't going to do it. And I was still kind of curious on my carburetor where all them brass shavings were coming from. I kind of wasn't going to let that go, and I did find the culprit. But anyways, taking her apart to get to the starter motor, she resides down here. It sits right here. I'll show you the motor in a minute, but it sits right here, and it goes against these teeth. And these teeth are what the gear kicks in, basically like a Bendix, kicks in and turns the flywheel. Well, that was happening, but not under a load. And I found the culprit for the brass shavings on the carburetor and all over the place, the dust in here. So I found more down below there. Well, anyways, I had to pull the pull starter cover, the cord cover, and engine cover. I pulled that. There's 3 bolts, and had to pull it from this frame right here. Not a big deal. It's like 6 bolts. Come apart, came off, and then I pulled 2 bolts. There's actually a panel. Let me show you here. A panel here, and this panel actually sat like this. Okay, it sits on there like this, bolted to it, and it's kind of a, I guess a dirt keeper or whatever, type thing. But I pulled the gas tank because I want to change the fuel filter, get it straight there. Anyways, and I kind of wanted to inspect for rust anyhow and make sure all the welds are good, and I've done that. All the welds look pretty good still. A little rust here, service rust. I might take a air staining wheel to it. I'm not sure yet. Not too concerned about it. But anyways, the flywheel's gears are good. The teeth are good. There's no damage on them. I did inspect them all. But anyways, the bolts that hold the starter are right here. They're 3/8 bolts. You kind of got a little mixture going on here. This is a number 11 bolt for the cover, for the engine cover. The bolts right there to pull off the frame portion to get it away from the actual frame of the snowblower. Those are 1/2 inch. I mean, it's just, what a mixture. Holy smolies. This is the slide bar that I got to replace. I just put some liquid wrench on the bolts to take them off. I got new ones for it. I'm going to replace this. It's not in too bad a shape, but you got to remember this thing's a 2005. So it's not in bad shape. I mean, overall, it's really not in bad shape at all. I took the belt cover off. I inspected the area here. The belt looks pretty good still. I don't have any cracking going on. Because they're not run a lot. I mean, just 2005. If you used it, 4 times a winter, for 7 years, that's not a lot of usage. So not a lot of hours on the motor, not a lot of hours on the belt, etc., etc. So, anyways, I inspected the gear mechanism for the chute. That all looks really good. The teeth look good. The gears look good. I'm going to put some dry lube on there. Spark plug. I'm going to replace the spark plug. I took the exhaust off. The muffler's right there. A couple long bolts for that. It looks good inside. Inspecting inside the motor, looking at the piston and stuff, that looked pretty good. A little carbon buildup, but it's because of, you know, the fuel injection, or the fuel oil mixture. I wish it was fuel injected. The fuel oil mixture, it you know, it is what it is. But all the mechanism stuff looks good. There's no grease points. I'm really kind of surprised, but I'll keep looking. But anyways, a couple bolts right there. These bolts here on the head hold the cover down. They go on the top here, right here. These two bolt holes here, and that completes holding the engine cover on and the pull cord cover. I already replaced the primer bulb, and that was a trick getting that on. There's got to be another way of doing that, but it is what it is. I got it. Put the new tubing on it. I'm not going to replace the carburetor yet. The carburetor is all done from a previous video. I'm going to look at the starter motor now, and I got to see if I can take and replace this gear for the starter motor, and she needs some cleaning up. But anyways, my brass shavings are all coming from this right here, right there. It's all brass, and it's chewed the living daylights out of that thing. Again, it works like a Bendix. You know, it pulls out when it's you know, when there's current on there, and it'll engage. But you know, she needs some cleaning up on her. Again, I'm going to try to see if I can remove this to replace this gear. I don't know if I can, but I'll look and see what the schematics on the website say on partstreet.com, and see if they have maybe this portion here. But that's what's shot. The motor's fine. You know, it kicks out like it's supposed to. The switch assembly is fine. You know, it's really nothing to these things. So I'm that far, but you can see the brass shavings right here. You know, with all kinds of brass stuff. I mean, it's all over the place, and that's where she came from. And I kind of had a feeling. I was a little worried about that, because what is brass on this thing that would be all over the place? And I'm glad of one thing, that the teeth are good shape. If those weren't in good shape, you know, the starter switch goes right here. I just mounted that to get it all apart, but working on this thing, a lot of fun. Here's the governor right there. That's gotta make sure that son of a gun stays right where she's at, because that's got to go on the carb. The magneto's right here. That looks really good. Good shape. Not a lot of rust on there. Everything looks good there. You know, it did start. This thing did start, and I had no problem with it. But there's some things I did want to do, and it's a little project for me. My wife will use this one. I use the big boy, so she wanted one to use. I've got a little tiny one over there. A little, I think it's a little 3-horse jobby. It's a piece of crap if you ask me, but it's only got like a 16-inch cut. It's awful. It's great for sidewalks and decks. It's like a broom one almost, but hey, it is what it is. And that one works just fine too. But this one here, she wants to use, and I had one like this. I actually had a 5.5 horsepower. Now this is a 6.5, so I'll get this thing all put back together after I determine what I can do with this starter. And if I do get it apart, I'll do a little video on how I got it apart. If I can't, if it don't come apart and you have to buy the whole dang thing, well, I'm going to scrap that. I'm not, because they're expensive from what I remember. But, anyways, that's where I'm at right now. Carburetor's done. I didn't clean the choke lever yet, but the carburetor's done. I've got her in a million pieces. Nothing to this dude. You know, these little things aren't that big a deal to work on, but anyways, that's where I'm at. So comments are appreciated. Again, this ain't got nothing to do with motorcycle stuff or vlogging or anything like that. It's just another one of my how-tos that I'm doing on another product. When I do the top box, I bought a couple items that I'm going to put on it for LEDs. I'll have to show everybody what I bought and all that, but that's another project, and that'll come a little later on. But she's covered up right now. It's good old Michigan gray and rain. It actually quit raining. It's just chilly, but tomorrow's supposed to be kind of decent. This whole week is supposed to be kind of, temperature-wise, pretty decent. So maybe I can get out and ride. I don't go on call until Thursday, so when I go on call, I can't ride it. But anyways, this Vader just rattling on and working on a Toro snowblower. And the next phase is when she's basically going to either find the starter situation or I start putting her back together and get her started. So that's Vader out.